7 signs your relationship material. Women notice this. Modern stoic. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Audrey Hepburn. Listen up, because what I'm about to share could change the way you view your dating life forever. There are women in your world, women you interact with every day, who are quietly evaluating you, not just as someone they could casually date, but as someone they could see building a future with. Here's the kicker. While other guys are busy trying to act like the bad boy or the charming playboy, believing that's what women want, you're actually showing the very qualities that make women consider you as a long-term partner. You're displaying traits that could make them delete their dating apps and introduce you to their family. There's a huge difference between being someone a woman has fun with and being someone she envisions a future with. The unfortunate truth is, most guys never realize what really attracts women for the long haul. They think it's about being mysterious or exciting, but that's a short-lived game. Women might be intrigued by the thrill, but what makes them fall is something entirely different. In reality, women are always on the lookout for relationship potential. It's almost instinctive. Even in casual moments, they're subconsciously assessing, could this be someone I could share my life with? And when you're naturally displaying these 7 key traits, the answer is often a definitive yes. Here's the mind-blowing part. You may already be demonstrating these traits without even realizing it. You might think you're just being yourself, but what you're actually doing is triggering all the signals that show you're someone worth investing in long term. You're making her imagine what it would be like to build a life together, how you'd handle challenges, and whether you'd still be supportive and affectionate years down the road. So let me ask you, how many of these 7 signs do you recognize in yourself? If you see even 4 or 5 of these qualities in your own behavior, there's a good chance there are women around you right now who are hoping you'll make things official. 1. You actually listen and remember what she says. Being relationship material isn't just about showing up or saying the right things. It's about consistently proving you can connect, listen, and be there in ways that most guys can't even fathom. It's about creating the kind of bond that speaks volumes without saying a word. Women notice when you genuinely listen to them, not just as a passive participant, but as someone who actively engages, takes the time to understand, and remembers. Don't just half listen and think about what you're going to say next. That's where most men fail. The real magic happens when you dive into the conversation, ask insightful questions, and remember the little things, like her sister's wedding, the book she's been dying to read, or that random memory she shared about her favourite childhood vacation. These aren't just facts for you to collect, they're keys that unlock a deeper connection. When you do this, something powerful happens. She feels truly heard, seen, and valued, things most women can't even remember feeling in past relationships. She starts to think, finally, someone who really cares about me. And that feeling makes her naturally consider a future where you're both a central part of it. It's a subtle yet profound shift that has the power to create lasting intimacy. This isn't just about listening to the surface level details either. This is about listening with intention, with the mindset that her words matter. Don't just respond to her comments, engage with them. Reflect on what she's shared and ask the kind of questions that show you're not just paying attention, but you're actively seeking to know her on a deeper level. This isn't some manipulation tactic. This is genuine connection. Women want to know that when they speak, it's not only landing, but it's sinking in, that their thoughts and emotions are taken seriously. This is where the blessing of Stoicism really comes into play. Modern Stoic men understand the power of presence. They don't get lost in their own thoughts or react impulsively. Instead, they choose to be fully there, fully present in the moment, without distractions. This is a skill that takes practice and patience, but it's one of the most powerful things you can bring to the table in any relationship. Old Stoics from the days of Marcus Aurelius to Seneca taught that attentiveness and deep listening were signs of inner strength, not weakness. A Stoic man doesn't rush to respond or try to fix everything. He listens, processes, and then responds with thoughtfulness and clarity. This type of calm, steady presence is what makes a man relationship material in today's world. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about the quiet confidence that comes with truly understanding what others are saying. This is something many men overlook, but it's exactly what women need. It's a gift that not only sets you apart, but also demonstrates maturity, emotional intelligence, and respect. When you can provide that, you show her that you're the kind of man who's not just looking for the next fling, but someone who's looking to build something meaningful. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that listening is passive or unimportant. It's the foundation of trust, intimacy, and deep connection. If you're not actively listening, then what's left? Surface, level conversations, and shallow interactions that go nowhere. If you want to be the kind of man who attracts women on a deeper level, you must prioritize listening as an art form. This is the modern Stoic way, being calm, present, and truly understanding. Old Stoic teachings show us that listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding context, emotions, and the underlying messages. This takes discipline, patience, and a certain level of emotional control, but these qualities are what will make you an ideal partner in any relationship. The next time you're in a conversation with her, don't just wait for your turn to talk. Be present in the moment, truly hear what she's saying, and show that you care about the things that matter to her. Don't be the guy who's just waiting to respond. Be the guy who's taking it all in and asking thoughtful, engaging questions. This is how you demonstrate your relationship material. The art of deep listening is an expression of maturity and emotional depth. When she feels truly heard, she begins to feel seen and appreciated in a way that makes her feel safe, valued, and respected. That kind of emotional connection is what sets you apart as someone who's not just good enough for her. You're the kind of man she's been waiting for. You must make listening your superpower. You must be that person who is always present and genuinely invested in her thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This isn't about showing off your ability to remember everything she's ever said, but rather about demonstrating that you care enough to be engaged with her and that you truly value what she brings to the table. Modern Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in our ability to control our responses and be present. When you listen deeply, you aren't just creating a conversation. You're building a bridge that will carry both of you to a future filled with trust and understanding. Don't underestimate the power of listening. It's the key to everything she wants in a partner and exactly what makes you relationship material. 2. You handle stress like a grown man. Don't be the guy who crumbles the moment life throws a curveball. When stress hits, whether it's a cancelled flight, a difficult conversation, or the pressure of a demanding workday, how do you react? Do you lose your cool or, like a modern Stoic, maintain your composure and search for a solution? Trust me, women notice this. They're paying attention to how you handle pressure, and it speaks volumes about the kind of partner you'll be. Picture this. You're on a business trip, and your flight is delayed for hours. The stress of the situation builds up, and you can feel your patience wearing thin. Now, the question is, how do you respond? If you're the type who starts ranting, complaining, or spiraling into a frustration-fueled meltdown, that's not exactly the picture of stability. But if you can take a deep breath, stay calm, and handle the situation with grace, you're not only showing maturity, you're demonstrating one of the most valuable qualities a partner can have: steadiness. In relationships, women want someone who can handle the inevitable bumps in the road with a level head. Think about it. Life isn't always smooth sailing. There will be challenges, disagreements, and curveballs along the way. When those moments hit, your response matters. A Stoic life isn't about being emotionless. It's about being composed and responding rationally, no matter the storm. The key lesson here is that stress is unavoidable. It's not about whether or not it will happen, but how you handle it. Modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. So, when faced with adversity, remember, don't let frustration control you. Be proactive, be rational, and be calm. This is exactly the kind of mindset that attracts women who are looking for a reliable, steady partner. Handling stress like a grown man doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or bottling them up. It means dealing with them in a constructive way, taking responsibility for your emotions, and working through the situation with maturity. This approach not only helps you in the moment, but it also builds trust with your partner. When she sees that you can stay grounded under pressure, she knows that you'll be there for her when times get tough. Women value emotional intelligence, and part of that is recognizing how to manage stress effectively. The Stoic lessons of self-control and resilience aren't just philosophical ideals, they're practical tools for navigating life's challenges. When you can embody these lessons, you're demonstrating that you have what it takes to be a solid, dependable partner. That's the kind of man women are drawn to, not the one who reacts impulsively, but the one who responds thoughtfully. So, how can you improve your ability to handle stress like a Stoic? Start by practicing mindfulness. Don't let your emotions run wild. Take a step back, assess the situation, and decide on the best course of action. Be aware of your triggers and don't allow them to dictate your response. This might take some time, but with consistency, you'll find that handling stress becomes second nature. And here's the thing. When you manage stress well, you create an environment where both you and your partner can thrive. You'll be able to support her when she's feeling overwhelmed, and she'll feel secure knowing that you won't crumble under pressure. Women are drawn to a man who can maintain his composure, someone who can handle life's inevitable ups and downs with ease. That's the kind of relationship material women are looking for. Remember, stress isn't going anywhere. It's a part of life. But how you deal with it? That's entirely in your control. So be the man who can navigate the storms of life with grace and watch how it makes you not just a better partner, but a more grounded, stable individual. That's the power of Stoicism, and that's what makes your relationship material. If you want to be the kind of man who remains calm and solution-focused in tough times, drop a comment right now. I stay steady under pressure. Like this video, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, and remember, true strength is staying composed when life tests you. 3. You treat everyone with respect. How you treat others, especially those who can't offer you anything in return, says everything about who you truly are. It's easy to be kind to someone when they can do something for you, but the real test of your character lies in how you treat those with no ability to benefit you, like service workers, strangers, or even people who seem to be in a position lower than yours. Women notice this. They're keenly aware of how you interact with people who have no power to influence your life. This goes far beyond basic politeness. If you are consistently respectful, thoughtful, and considerate in every interaction, it's a clear signal that your values run deep. And here's the truth. Women begin to imagine how you'll treat them, their families, and how you'd handle life's most important roles, like being a father. How you treat others, especially those who can't repay you, speaks volumes about your integrity and your emotional maturity. This is not about putting on a show for the world, it's about living with character. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, wisely stated, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This is a call to action. You must embody the values that you want to project. Respect is the foundation of that character. It's not just a nice gesture or an expectation. It's the core of your integrity. Women are always paying attention to how you interact with others, and this is especially true when it comes to men they might consider for long-term relationships. If they see that you treat everyone, whether they're in a position to benefit you or not, with dignity and respect, they begin to envision a future with you. They see you as someone who will treat them and their family with the same courtesy, respect, and emotional maturity. They picture you as someone who can be counted on, not just to be a good partner, but to be a solid father figure and a trustworthy leader in any role you take on. The Stoic principles of life, which Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers preached, emphasize the importance of self, discipline, resilience, and respect. Respect is at the heart of this. A man who embodies Stoic thinking understands that the world isn't about him alone, and his interactions with others are a reflection of his inner strength and self-control. By consistently practicing respect, you show that you are secure in your values and that you can rise above any situation or person who might try to diminish or provoke you. This isn't about showing off your power. It's about demonstrating your calm and unwavering ability to remain true to your principles. If you want to be seen as relationship material, you must demonstrate that you are grounded in these Stoic principles. Women are drawn to men who exhibit emotional stability and wisdom, and nothing shows this more than how you treat the people around you. Respect is not something you do when it's convenient. It must be a part of who you are. Women can tell when respect is genuine and when it's merely for show. A man who is disrespectful or dismissive to those around him, especially those who can't offer him anything in return, is not someone who will make a good partner or father. That's a red flag. A man of integrity, one who embodies Stoic principles, knows that his worth is not defined by what others can do for him, but by how he treats others. That is the foundation of a trustworthy character. You must internalize this truth. Your actions will determine how women see you. If you treat others with disrespect, that will reflect on your relationships. But if you show kindness, patience, and respect, whether it's with a cashier, a colleague, or a stranger, you are showing that you are a man capable of forming a deep, meaningful connection. You will have earned the right to be seen as relationship material, someone who can be relied upon to act with honor, dignity, and wisdom. Let's be clear. You have to make this a habit. Respect cannot be something you only show when it's easy or when it's in your best interest. It's a way of life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say." In other words, true respect starts with humility. It starts with understanding that everyone has value, even if they cannot do anything for you. It's about putting the principles of Stoic thought into action. You must live by these values day in and day out. If you do, women will notice, and more importantly, you'll earn the deep respect and admiration that comes with living a life of purpose, integrity, and respect for others. In the end, if you are to become the man who embodies the Stoic principles of respect, kindness, and emotional maturity, you must act with resolve. Treat every person you encounter as if they matter, because they do. And when you do this, you not only build stronger relationships, but also position yourself as a man of character, someone capable of winning the respect and trust of the people who matter most in your life. Live by this code. Let respect define you, and the world will respond accordingly. You must become the man who lives out the principles of Stoicism in every aspect of his life. 4. You have your life together, but you're still growing. Don't get caught in the trap of thinking that perfection is the end goal. No one is perfect, and frankly, women don't expect you to be. What they notice, what truly grabs their attention, is a man who has his life together, but is still hungry for growth. Women are drawn to men who are not just stable and responsible, but who have the drive to improve, evolve, and move forward, regardless of how far they've come. It's about managing your life with intention and discipline, whether that means keeping your career on track, maintaining your health, or working on your emotional well-being. But it's equally important to show that you're still looking ahead, always striving to do better, to be better. This balance is essential because it demonstrates that you're not the type of man who is just coasting through life, floating aimlessly without direction. You're someone who actively seeks self-improvement, someone who realizes that growth is a lifelong journey. This is where the concept of the modern Stoic comes into play. A modern Stoic isn't stuck in the past or overwhelmed by the future. Instead, they focus on the present moment while always striving for personal development. The blessing of Stoicism lies in its ability to provide a framework for maintaining emotional stability, perspective, and resilience. You don't just react to life's ups and downs, You confront them with a calm, measured approach and use every experience as an opportunity for growth. This is the essence of what women are attracted to. They want a man who doesn't just sit back and wait for life to happen, but one who takes control of his circumstances, grows from them, and ultimately improves with each new challenge. Being responsible, organized, and proactive is undeniably important. Whether it's managing your finances, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or taking charge of your career, these are the outward signs of stability that women notice. But there's another layer to this that goes beyond the basics of adulthood. Women are drawn to men who are in constant evolution, not just in their jobs or their finances, but also in their character, mindset, and emotional intelligence. This shows maturity. It signals that you're not stuck in your ways, that you're not a man who will never change. You're adaptable, open to new experiences, and dedicated to becoming a better version of yourself with each passing day. This sense of ambition isn't about seeking external validation. It's about having an internal drive to push beyond your limits, to challenge yourself, and to live intentionally. And that's what makes your relationship material. The old Stoics knew the value of accepting life's challenges and approaching them with purpose. They understood that growth doesn't come from avoiding difficulty, but from meeting it head-on and using it as a catalyst for self-improvement. The modern Stoic embraces the same mindset, accepting what they can't control while focusing on what they can, and always seeking personal growth in every area of life. When you embody this principle, you not only show women that you're capable of handling the ups and downs of life, but that you're also a man who will stand strong beside them in a relationship, growing together through the years. Women are attracted to men who bring this energy into a relationship. If you're someone who is always improving, someone who is consistently working on their physical health, emotional intelligence, or career goals, then you show that you have the potential to create a healthy, evolving partnership. You are not stagnant. You are dynamic. You don't just offer stability, but you offer progress. This is what women want. They want a partner who is secure in themselves, but who also has the drive to build a better future, not just for themselves, but for their relationship. They want someone who can grow with them, not someone who is stuck in the past or reluctant to change. So don't settle for simply being good enough. The world doesn't reward complacency. You must keep moving forward, keep striving, and keep growing. Whether it's in your career, your health, or your emotional development, don't let the journey of self-improvement stop. The more you work on yourself, the more you'll become the type of man who attracts women seeking a meaningful, evolving partnership. This is the modern Stoic way, a way of living that not only makes you attractive, but also lays the foundation for a successful, thriving relationship. Women notice this kind of growth, and they are drawn to it. So remember, keep improving, keep developing, and keep becoming the best version of yourself. That is the kind of man who is truly relationship material, and that is exactly what women are looking for. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us, or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. 5. You're emotionally available and communicate like an adult. Don't shy away from emotions. Being emotionally available is one of the most important qualities a man can bring to a relationship. It's not just about being able to talk. It's about being able to express what's inside, even when it feels uncomfortable. Women notice this, and, believe me, they appreciate it. If you can openly discuss your feelings without turning it into a drama show or hiding behind a mask of silence, you're already a step ahead. It's rare, but it's incredibly attractive. Now, we live in a world where men are often told to bottle up their emotions, be stoic to a fault, and avoid vulnerability. The truth is, the real stoic life isn't about suppressing everything inside. It's about control. Control over how you respond, how you process, and how you express your emotions. It's about being strong, but also understanding that strength can coexist with compassion and openness. Being emotionally available means you must be the type of man who is capable of navigating tough conversations with respect and clarity. Women don't want to walk on eggshells, wondering if a simple conversation will turn into a battle. That's not the kind of emotional safety they seek. They crave a partner who can listen without judgment, respond thoughtfully, and manage conflict without creating chaos. When you can engage in these kinds of conversations calmly, you're already building a foundation of trust. You're not just talking. You're creating a space where both of you feel heard. This is where the magic happens. A woman wants to feel that her voice matters, that her emotions are validated. When she sees you handling difficult subjects with maturity and patience, she can relax and trust that the relationship will weather any storm. That is exactly what makes your relationship material. Think about this. You're in a heated argument, the kind that could easily escalate. If you remain calm, stay focused on resolving the issue rather than escalating the tension, you are applying Stoic lessons in real time. Stoicism isn't about avoiding emotions. It's about responding rationally, no matter how chaotic things might seem. That's the quality women deeply respect. You must lead the conversation with maturity, ensuring that you don't turn a minor disagreement into a full-blown crisis. A key part of emotional availability is knowing how to communicate without attacking or belittling. That means you should never deflect, stonewall, or shut down. Instead, you must articulate your thoughts with clarity and respect, acknowledging the feelings of your partner. Be present, not just physically, but emotionally as well. When you're emotionally available, you're showing that you care deeply. You're making it clear that the relationship is important to you, and you're willing to work through tough times without running away. It's also important to recognize that emotional maturity means being self-aware. You must be able to reflect on your own feelings, articulate them accurately, and understand how your actions or words may affect those around you. That's the essence of a modern Stoic, someone who remains level, headed even in emotional turbulence, but doesn't ignore the emotions themselves. Instead, he uses them as a tool for growth. Being emotionally available isn't just about the good times. It's about standing by each other when things get messy. Women notice when a man can stay grounded, maintain his composure, and keep the lines of communication open when the going gets tough. That's what makes you trustworthy. That's what builds a real, lasting bond. If you're emotionally available, you're not just a partner, you're a rock. And when a woman feels like she has a rock beside her, she can face anything. In the context of a relationship, that's what a woman wants. Someone she can count on to handle the challenges of life. And here's the key. When you approach these situations with Stoic lessons in mind, the relationship becomes a place where both of you can grow. A woman knows that she can rely on you to keep your head, even when emotions are running high. That's an invaluable quality in any relationship. So, don't hide your emotions. Don't shy away from the hard talks. Be the man who can communicate openly and respectfully. Be the man who knows that true Stoicism isn't about suppressing feelings, but managing them with maturity and grace. You'll notice that when you embrace emotional availability and mature communication, the relationships around you will thrive, and that's the kind of man any woman will want to build a future with. 6. You show consistency between words and actions. Consistency between your words and actions is the defining trait of a man who is truly relationship material. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful relationship, and without it, nothing of value can be built. Women, in particular, are keenly aware of a man's integrity. If you say you're going to do something, make sure your actions align with your words. When you promise something, follow through with it every single time. This unwavering consistency doesn't just build trust, it creates security. In relationships today, one of the biggest frustrations women face is uncertainty. They don't want to guess at your feelings or intentions. If you want to be a man they can rely on, you must show up and do what you say, no matter how inconvenient it may be. This is not about grand gestures, but about small, everyday actions that prove you are dependable. A relationship is a journey where trust is the vehicle that carries both partners forward. And when trust is built on your consistent actions, It paves the way for emotional investment from both sides. Imagine being that man, the one who doesn't falter under pressure, the one who doesn't waver when times get tough, the one who does what he says. The modern woman wants a partner she can count on, not someone who is unpredictable or erratic in their emotions and actions. When you live with consistency, you radiate a sense of reliability. You become the steady hand that she can lean on in times of need. Marcus Aurelius, a true Stoic, once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The key here is not just in talking about your principles or ideals, but in living them daily. You must be the embodiment of your words. To do so, you must follow the Stoic principles, stay calm under pressure, act with intention, and remain true to your promises. Being a man of your word is an essential aspect of the Stoic mindset. You don't need to get caught up in fleeting emotions or impulsive decisions. Instead, like the Stoics taught, you must rise above your immediate reactions and live by your principles. Whether it's keeping small promises or honouring the larger commitments you've made, showing consistency will build the trust that is essential in any relationship. Women crave stability, and the man who can provide that is the one they'll want beside them for the long haul. In the modern world, we live in a society that is constantly distracted, full of immediate gratifications and endless options. It can be easy to get caught up in the chaos. But the Stoic man, the man who has mastered himself, doesn't waver. He keeps his promises, no matter how small, because he understands that every action contributes to the bigger picture. He knows that every time he falls short of his word, trust erodes. He doesn't let the noise of life dictate his actions. He holds firm, he stays steady, and he's reliable through thick and thin. Think about it. How many times have you been disappointed by someone who couldn't keep their word? How many times have you felt frustration because someone wasn't consistent in their actions? You don't want to be that person. You want to be the man who walks the talk, the man whose words and actions align. That's the man who attracts genuine commitment, the kind of woman who values stability and knows that when you say something, you'll make it happen. Marcus Aurelius, in his wisdom, reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. If your thoughts are grounded in discipline and consistency, so will your actions be. You must cultivate this mindset, day in and day out. Consistency doesn't just happen. It's the result of deliberate, repeated actions. Women see it. They notice the man who doesn't make excuses, the one who does what he says he will do. This consistency is what makes you trustworthy, and trust is the foundation upon which strong relationships are built. Without it, there is nothing. With it, you can build a future together, secure in the knowledge that both of you are on the same page. Remember, being consistent isn't just about keeping promises to others. It's about keeping promises to yourself. The Stoic principles teach us the value of self, discipline and integrity. If you can't rely on yourself to follow through, how can anyone else? Take responsibility for your words and actions. The more you align them, the more you will grow as a man, and the more you will attract the kind of relationship that is grounded in real trust and emotional depth. In a world full of distractions and fleeting moments, consistency is your superpower. It is the quiet force that will set you apart and make you an ideal partner. Women notice when a man's words and actions align, and they are naturally drawn to him. Be that man. Show up, keep your promises, live by the Stoic principles of discipline, self-control, and reliability. Only then will you become the man who not only attracts, but also retains the kind of relationship that others envy. Master yourself. Live by your actions, be consistent, and that, above all, will make you a man who is truly relationship material. If you've made it this far, you're showing that you're ready to level up. Consistency between words and actions is the foundation of trust, and trust is the key to a deep, meaningful connection. Don't let doubt hold you back. Show the world you mean what you say, and say what you mean. Please comment below. I am the man who leads with consistency. Let's build that trust together. 7. You make her feel like the best version of herself. You must understand this. A great partner doesn't merely hope that the other person will change. A great partner inspires transformation, but not through demands, criticisms, or force. No, a truly great partner creates an environment where change can flourish naturally, an environment that encourages growth, rather than trying to impose it. This is the blessing of Stoicism in its most modern form. A modern Stoic man knows that personal growth doesn't come from force or manipulation, but through acceptance, support, and the right kind of influence. It's not about making grand gestures or constantly trying to convince her that she's amazing. It's about creating a space where she can be herself, where her dreams are nurtured and celebrated, where her successes are acknowledged, and where she can fully express her potential without fear of judgment. When you show admiration for her achievements, when you genuinely support her ambitions, you aren't just being a good partner, you're being the catalyst for her to reach her best self. You see, it's not about offering her compliments every single moment. Those words can be empty if they're not rooted in something real. The real magic happens when your positive energy radiates out, when you allow your own personal growth to inspire her. Your own pursuit of becoming better, of growing in wisdom and resilience, acts as a beacon for her to do the same. You must lead by example. When she sees your consistency, your steady development as a man, when she sees how you meet challenges and overcome them with grace and determination, she feels empowered. She feels capable of becoming her best self, and that is where attraction truly begins. You must remember this. When she feels good about herself in your presence, when she feels valued and loved, she connects that feeling to you. That's the real power. You don't need to flatter her every minute to show your appreciation. Instead, your actions, your steadiness, your integrity, your constant support allow her to blossom into the woman she's meant to be. When she feels strong and secure in herself because of your influence, your role in her life becomes indelibly tied to her sense of self, worth. She begins to associate you with the best version of herself. And that, my friend, is a deep, profound connection. This is where the wisdom of the old Stoic still rings true today. The old Stoics taught that greatness was not simply about individual success, but about fostering the greatness in those around you. A man who lives by the principles of modern Stoicism doesn't focus on trying to change others. Instead, he provides the space, the guidance, and the environment where they can change on their own, where they can evolve and grow into their full potential. You must be the kind of man who doesn't demand perfection, but who celebrates progress, no matter how small, and who lifts those around him up. When you lead with respect, when you support with patience, when you admire her with honesty, you give her the freedom to rise to her fullest self. That is true partnership. And let's be clear, this isn't about you needing to be perfect. No one expects that. The key is in your ability to lead by example, not by grand gestures, but by living authentically. The more you grow, the more she will be inspired to grow. That's the beauty of a modern Stoic mindset. It's not about manipulating others into becoming who you think they should be. It's about being a constant, steady force that encourages others to become the best version of themselves. And when she feels empowered around you, when she sees you as a person who enables her to flourish, you become incredibly attractive. There is nothing more magnetic than someone who believes in you, supports you, and shows you, through their actions, that you have the power to become more than you ever thought possible. In a world that often rushes to judgment and demands quick fixes, the modern Stoic stands apart. He is patient, he's steady. He believes in growth, not change for the sake of change. You must adopt this mindset, one where you don't simply wait for things to happen, but create the conditions where growth is inevitable. This is not just about you either, it's about her too. When she feels good about herself around you, when she associates you with self, empowerment, her respect and love for you grow deeper. That is what makes you magnetic. That is what makes her feel like the best version of herself. You are not just a passive observer in her life. You are the reason she feels like she can reach new heights, the reason she feels valued and appreciated. And in that, you will find the ultimate reward, her admiration, her love, and her desire to grow alongside you. Remember this: be the man who inspires, not by force, but by leading with unwavering support, respect, and the wisdom of a modern Stoic. Be the partner who creates a space for her to rise, not through manipulation, but through your own example. That's how you make her feel like the best version of herself. And that, my friend, is what makes you truly irreplaceable. Hey there, thanks for watching. Remember, these 7 qualities are what women truly value when they're looking for someone to build a future with. If you already exhibit these traits, you're probably already someone people can count on for the long haul. Keep being your authentic self, keep improving, and trust that the right person will see the value you bring. Wishing you all the best in your relationships, and stay true to who you are. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.